Hey, welcome to the channel. It's Friday. It's early in the morning. It's probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I had to get out early because it gets so hot in the afternoon, or around 12 o'clock. You want to be inside with the air conditioning because it gets so hot. And it's not really good to be out walking around in the hot sun like that. But anyway, I want to thank everybody that's subscribed to the channel and left comments and liked, and it's really helped out a lot. And if you enjoy videos like this and you haven't been to the channel before, you know, look through some of the videos. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel and leave me some comments. Today, we're just south of the Iron Bridge. There's a place I wanted to show you. Lek and I went the other day and had some really good sandwiches that were made good and they weren't expensive. And then there's an old house here across the street from it I'm going to show you. And then we're going to walk out to a place called YanngCome Hotel. And one of the subscribers said it was real pretty and wanted me to take a look, and we'll do that. And on the way, I'm going to tell you a little story. But right now, I'm going to show you around right here. Look at this old house across the street. I just noticed this. I've never seen it before. Really, really nice. And there was some old lady downstairs when I came out. But this is the house that I wanted to show you. On the sign out front, it says the house was built in like 1895 or something like that. And I think it's a coffee shop now. Really kind of cool. You don't see many houses like this anymore. There are a few inside the city, but not very many. But the restaurant I wanted to show you is right over here. And there's an ice cream shop right next door. We didn't have ice cream because we were too full from the sandwiches. But I'll walk down here and show you right where it is. It's right where that umbrella is. Really good sandwiches, and they're not expensive. And I think we got 3 sandwiches, and I think we paid about 250 baht. It's right there. And they've got room for about 4 or 5 tables on the inside. And then they've got 1 table outside. But anyway, I'm going to walk across the street here and we'll start headed towards YanngCome Hotel, and I've got a kind of pretty neat story to tell you as well. Let me get across the street here first. Yeah, this is a neat old house. Man. That is so cool. But anyway, back a few years ago, I remember reading about this in the news. And a guy had married a Thai lady a good many years ago. And they had moved back to his home country. And let me adjust this camera just a little bit. And they lived there, they raised 2 kids, and he had a pretty successful business as well. And from the best I can tell, when they finally decided to retire, they moved back to Thailand, to her home province. And they bought about 20 million baht worth of land. And it pretty much set up household here. And it doesn't really say how long they were here. I would venture to say from the amount of land that they acquired and the time frames, it was probably quite a few years. But and they're, you know, I'm talking they're in their 60, 64, 65 now. But anyway, after a while, the marriage starts going sour, and doesn't really say what the problem was, but you find that a lot of times when a couple's lived outside the country and they come back, it's not uncommon for them to have problems, and it's usually because of the culture difference. The foreigner husband can't understand the the family values, and it just creates a problem. And I'm not saying that's what happened here. It didn't really say, but they obviously weren't getting along real well. And she wanted a divorce. And she wanted to split everything, 50-50, which to me is fair, I mean, it's kind of hard, it's hard to say, but, had they gotten a divorce, that's probably what the judge would have done anyway, split everything down the middle. And then he would have had to sell whatever he had. But he wasn't going along with it. He wasn't going to have any part of it. And apparently this carried on for quite some time. And had it gone through the court system here, you can get a divorce here in about 15 minutes. All it really entails is just walking down to the local government office, and if you all agree to everything, sign the papers, and they sign them, and you walk out the door and you're a single person again. But if it has to go through the courts, it can take years and years and years. Now, somebody said they had some real good food at that bakery. I've never tried it. I may have to check it out on the way back, pick something up to take home. But, it's, in one of the videos I talked about a guy who ended up getting his house in the divorce, and it took him 6 years. So the process is a long time. Plus, when they did bought all that property, they also took a 10 million baht life insurance out on him. Well, things go on and on and on and on. And finally, she decides that this isn't working. So she's got a friend, another lady that's in her 60s, that I guess she must be kind of a shady character, because she'd been arrested once for for organizing a contract hit, and they couldn't convict her of it, so they dismissed the charges on her. So she had a friend that was already predisposed to give her a hand. So she gets hold of her friend and makes a deal with her to take out her husband for 500,000 baht, which is about $15,000, $16,000. So this lady, she contacts her nephew, and I don't think his cards were all written quite right. But anyway, they devise a plan, and it seems that this guy liked to go out and ride his bicycle in the mornings. So nephew there figures out his route. We're going to cross the street here. This place is completely shut down. Hasn't reopened. I don't see any sign of life here at all. But anyway, the nephew, he gets in his truck and he's kind of scoping the guy out, and the nephew it doesn't appear that he lives in that area. He's from another part of the country. But he spots the guy, and he's riding his bicycle down the road. Well, he runs him over, and tears the bicycle to pieces, and tears the guy up real bad. He's in real bad shape. And the cops come and they look at it, and it's everything on the surface kind of appears to be just an accident. And but the guy's still alive. He didn't die. They take him to the hospital, and he's in pretty bad shape, but he's definitely going to survive it. So Auntie there, the deal was that he was supposed to get a new car for killing this guy. But being that he didn't succeed, he only got 10,000 baht to fix his truck, which is kind of funny. But the cops get digging into it some, and they start seeing little inclinations that something ain't right, you know. The guy in the truck should have had a full view of the guy on the bike, and the skid marks don't really match up. So they bring nephew in and lean on him pretty hard, I guess. Well, nephew, they start checking, you know, he's already fixed his truck, and from the best I can gather, they start asking him, you know, where he got the money to fix his truck, and he says, well, my aunt gave it to me, you know. And my suspicion is when they found out who the aunt was, somebody that they had already dealt with in the past, you know, red flags just went up all over the place. So he finally confesses that, you know, it was a set-up deal, and he was supposed to get a new truck out of the deal, but, you know, being that he didn't complete it, he just got the 10,000 baht to fix his truck. So then they go pick up the two ladies. Hello. And these guys, you know, these Thai police officers, they do a good job. They get confessions in places where, you know, normally you'd have to pull people's teeth. And they don't do that. Their bargaining chip that they have is that if you don't confess and you go to trial, you get a full sentence. If you confess your sins and lie a few times, the judge will cut your sentence in half. So that's why a lot of these people confess. Not because they're browbeat or anything like that. I'm sure there's a little bit of that too, but not always. But anyway, they confessed and they got charged. And you know, the Thai media here never follows up on anything. You never hear, wow, there's a nice Triumph. This is the hotel we're going to walk in and check out. You never hear the outcome. You only hear the first news blast, and that's it. So I don't know if they got jail time or what. You know, they may have, they may not have. Nothing would surprise me. But we're going to walk back in through here. This is the hotel. But in finding that story, I found about 6 or 7 more, and I'll tell those in some upcoming videos. But I was shocked at how many I actually found. You know, similar to this. Wow, this is really nice. I don't want to get in someplace where I'm not supposed to be, but I'm just going to video a little bit. This is a really nice place. Nice and shady too. But really, I was shocked. I had no idea that there was so much of that going on up here. So, you know, the bad thing about it is they had been together a long time. And woof, you know, there it goes. Wow, this is really cool. Chiang Mai Spa School. Oh, we'll walk around through here and walk out. Really beautiful grounds here. So I guess you never know, you know. I would have got suspicious when they wanted to put 10,000 or 10 million baht insurance on me. You know, that's where I would have said, "Oh, wait a minute. I don't think we'll go that route." Wow, look at the size of that tree. Banyan tree. When I was in Florida, I flew over to Fort Myers once, and I believe it was Thomas Edison or had a house over there. And he had these trees in the backyard, and I mean, they were just, it was just amazing. but they were just like this, but they were the whole backyard. It's a really beautiful garden back here. So I guess the moral of the story is don't make yourself more valuable dead than you are alive, because you never ever know. Nice restaurant too back here. Oh, this is pretty. This is really nice. Thank you, subscriber, for suggesting this place. Beautiful gardens. I'll leave a link in the description to this place, and if any of y'all want to check and see how much the rooms are. I have no idea. I'd say they're probably pretty high up. But short of that, you know, you never know in life. You never know what the next day is going to bring. That's why I try to enjoy every day that I have, because you never know. I mean, if Leck had me knocked off, she'd be selling food at the market. So I don't worry about that happening. Wow, this is really beautiful. The rooms, yeah, see, the rooms are back in here. So cool. Look at that peacock. See if I can raise it up high enough so you can see it. Wow, really beautiful grounds. Now we're going to avoid this water. Got a nice swimming pool over there. Hello. Oh, that's nice. I squeeze the hose while I walk by. Yeah, look at that pool. Then you got a restaurant right there. Saturday night at 8 p.m. we'll be having a live stream again. And we had one last week. It was a lot of fun. Greenie from Greenie's Travels will be in. Charlie from Travels with Charlie Hub will be there. And I've got a new guy coming in, American in Thailand, and a real nice guy. He's making videos of his house being built. Real interesting. So if y'all can, stop in and say hello. And we'll start right at 8 o'clock, and we usually go for about an hour. After that, everybody starts getting tired. Yeah, these are really nice rooms. And way in the back. And we'll walk back out around front again. We have not had any rain for a few days, and things have dried up, and people are starting to burn again. And it's a little bit smoky. I think the PM 2.5 was like 24 when I came through the intersection where they have it posted, but it's not bad, and it usually clears up. Yeah, these are beautiful rooms. Nice setup here. And you're close to everything. I think he said the owners live in this house, or maybe this one, I don't know. This is the first time I've ever been through here. Oh man, I gotta show you this car. Look at that, that flower is beautiful. That's real orchid. Let's go check out this car real quick. See what kind it is. Wow, Armstrong Sidley. I've never seen one of those before or heard of them. Almost looks like a Rolls Royce front or a Jaguar front end. Wow, that is really good. I don't know if y'all can see in there or not. That thing is prime inside. It's probably his pride and joy. That is really pretty. Well, I'm going to make it back to the car, and I appreciate y'all checking this video out. And like I said, leave me some comments and let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.